Good morning friends and welcome to the pre-market view. US markets were flat on Friday. No major economic data points to look at, and even European markets were down almost about 0.5%. And when we look at the Asian markets today morning, Nikkei is down almost about 3%, but most of the other markets are flat to marginally positive. Now Nikkei is emerging as a pressure point for the global markets, and it's causing a lot of turbulence for the past 2 or 3 sessions. Just to put things in perspective, for the year till date, Nikkei was up almost about 46%, but from the top it is corrected about 10%, and still it is standing at a staggering gain of almost about 36% year till date. So though there is some amount of turbulence in most of the markets, the market which is driving up this turbulence is still standing at 36% gains. Talking about the flows, FIs were net sellers in the cash market after a long time to the tune of almost about 236 crore. The domestic institutions were sellers to the tune of about 138 crore. And in the index futures, FIs were net buyers to the tune of about 225 odd crore. Back home, our markets were marginally positive. It was a stock specific action wherein we had seen a huge volatility in the stock of Wockhardt after that import alert put in by US FDA, where the con call was organized by the company, wherein they have said that the extent of loss on the revenue front is going to be about only $100 million. But because of the fact that most of the analysts had actually forecasted a great growth for the next 2 or 3 years, and this company was believed to be available at a PE multiple of about 7 to 8 times, there is going to be a lot of change in their earnings forecast because of this development. And there are also apprehensions that once US FDA conducts the investigation of their Aurangabad plant, there could be some fresh negative triggers for the stock, so which is keeping the stock weak. Also, we have seen a huge amount of action in the McDowell's counter or United Spirits after the court gave a go-ahead for the sale of shares by Vijay Mallya to the Diageo, and this momentum may continue for a while. Also, we have some important results coming out. So overall, the bias is not so positive, but there is going to be a range-bound movement for the next couple of days, and we also have an important expiry coming up. So there could be some amount of volatility on Wednesday and Thursday. And on that note, let me invite Sadhna to take us through important F&O cues, data and strategies that we can have in the F&O markets.
Good morning friends, let's have a view on derivatives. Last week markets continued to trade in a southward direction with negative bias after a huge sell-off across the globe. And on Friday, after a positive opening, markets suddenly entered into a red due to a huge volatility in Asian markets, and Nifty finally snapped the session with negligible gain of 0.32%. In this period, we have seen that short positions were covered by market participants, as around 3.42 lakh shares were reduced in open interest, and cost of carry also increased significantly. On the options front, in the strikes of 5,900 and 6,000, call option as well as put option has seen a good activity, and 6,100 call option also has seen a 13% rise in open interest. As we have closed below our weekly VWAP of 6050, overall our bias remains negative, but we are expecting a bounce up to a weekly VWAP of 6050. From intraday perspective, one can go long on HDFC Bank with a stop loss of 895.40. Thank you.
Here are the important news and events that we are tracking today. First of all, companies which will be announcing numbers. National Aluminium or NALCO, we are looking at a net profit of about 139 crore. And in case of Wockhardt, we are looking at a net profit of about 386 crore for the quarter. Jet Airways came out with an extremely disappointing set of numbers, and they reported a loss of almost about 743 crore as against the loss of 354 crore in the last year. And also the revenue was marginally negative to about 3990 crore versus about 4090 crore. And this is despite the fact that the company got a compensation of 293 crore from Boeing for the delayed delivery and some interest refund. So despite all this, the operating performance of Jet looks quite weak, so the stock could react negatively to that in today's morning trade. EGOM is likely to meet on Tuesday to consider the abolition of the priority ranking in the allocation of natural gas, and there is a move to actually make available this natural gas to even power plants, as against the fact that it is being made available to urea plants on a priority basis. and the Coal India block which was to be made available as divestment has been delayed because of the strike by the workers of Coal India, and the Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs is planning to divest about 5% stake in Neyveli Lignite, which would fetch the government close to about 700 crore. Purvankara projects concluded an OFS successfully, and they raised almost about 150 odd crore by selling almost about 14 million shares. And AstraZeneca Pharma, which is a promoter of the AstraZeneca Sweden, is also likely to come out with an OFS to comply with the SEBI's promoter holding norms. Reliance Industries has found a huge gas discovery in the KG-D6 basin, and the reports indicate that it could be somewhere around 819 billion cubic feet of gas, and because of this there could be a positive reaction to the stock. One can go long there with a stop loss of 770 and a target of about 810 to about 825. Reliance Communication has increased both GSM and CDMA prepaid mobile to mobile calls by 33% to 2 paise per second from about 1.5 paise per second. So one can go long on RCOM with a stop loss of 105.5 and a target of about 111 to about 114. Britannia came out with exceptionally good set of numbers, and the net profit went up by 49% to about 92 crore as against the market expectations of about 58 crore. So one can go long on Britannia with a stop loss of 563 and a target of about 592 to about 603. And Crompton Greaves came out with extremely disappointing set of numbers, and the net profit actually plunged by 75% to 25.3 crore, which is definitely a big negative for the stock. So one can short Crompton Greaves with a stop loss of 98 and a target of about 93 to about 91. That's it from all of us, friends. Have a great trading session and see you tomorrow at the same time.